Well, hey there, hi there, ho there. Welcome to another edition of Man Man with the Show. I'm your host, Zane. Thank you again for tuning in, subscribing, liking, and supporting this show. We really appreciate that. So let's just jump into it. Um, you know, One thing about the CW, is just they have some shows on there. My wife calls it the CW people, and the reason is the shows are just like she just doesn't like it. It's just like it's too politically driven or the way that it looks and stuff like that. The only series that she does like on there, and it's not even on CW, but it was originally created for the CW, is the Sabrina, the Teenage Witch series that's now on Netflix. It's in, I think, the fourth season, if I'm not mistaken. And she enjoys that. She really enjoys because it's really really dark on there, and on there. But she doesn't watch the Vampire Diaries or any of the other shows on there other than Supernatural. I mean, she doesn't watch the DC Comics shows or anything like that. Supernatural is about the extent of what she watches. Now, what's happening is CW is rebooting a classic TV series, one of my favorite TV series, and unfortunately, they're just gonna turn this. It's just horrible. It's just horrible they're doing it, and reading off of the synopsis on there, it's insane. It stars actress Olivia Lang, and she's going to be portraying Alyssa Chang. If I'm sorry, uh, Olivia Lang is in the main role. She previously played Alyssa Chang on the CW Vampire Diaries. Sorry about that. My notes are a little off here, but the series will surround that she'll play a Chinese American who's having a quarter life crisis and drops out of college to travel to isolated monastery in China. And then what happens is that she returns and to a city overrun by crime and corruption. She will use her martial arts skills and Shaolin values to protect her community and bring criminals to justice. While that, she would be looking for the person who assassinated her master, which is also looking for her. What does that sound like to you? I mean, I've, that synopsis I've heard before. Where have I heard that before? Oh, wait a minute. Chris Nolan's Batman. Batman Begins. It sounds exact. They've taken the synopsis of Batman Begins and turned it into Kung Fu. I mean, oh my God. I mean, okay, let's put it in this perspective. If you've never seen Kung Fu, don't know what it is, never seen it before, it's a great series. David Carradine plays. Originally, it was supposed to be Bruce Lee, but there was some issues, and sometimes that the network went with David Carradine. They thought David Carradine would carry it better, and he did. The story when it gets educated in the monastery and the philosophy ends up in an incident where his master grandfather is murdered by the nephew of the monarchy, and basically in a fit, David Carradine's character, who is called Kwai Jean Kane, is basically murders the nephew and escapes to America, to the American West, to avoid persecution, and searches for his half brother. And it's a great series. It's in the Old West. He's walking around barefooted, getting into adventures where he helps people. He only fights when he needs to fight to defend himself. And it's very well done. I mean, if you've not seen this, it's great. I think YouTube has it, and a couple others on there. I think you have to pay for it to see the series. It used to be available free, but now I think you have to pay for it now. But it's a great series. Now they want to take it, and you're going to say to yourself, "Wow, Zane, you don't care that you're probably upset because it's a Chinese woman." I'm not upset because it's a Chinese woman. It's basically they want to gender swap. Fine. I don't like gender swapping on roles, because you have to look at it to the perspective of what a Shaolin priest is, and the way it was back then. This they want to put it into a present day. They've already done a present day spin on Kung Fu years ago with David Carradine, where he plays the grandson of Kwai Jean Kane, and his son is a police officer in the city that they're in, and they get into adventures in similar ways. But you have here that they're going to do it again, make it look like Batman Begins, and not go to the level of what, the whole philosophy of the situation of, of being a Shaolin monk. Here you have, I mean, I could be wrong. But this is the way the synopsis is sounding to me. And basically, CW is taking it in the wrong direction. And, like I said, I could be wrong, but knowing CW, already we had another video we discussed about Ruby Rose leaving the Batwoman series, how badly written that series is. And here we go. They're trying to do this one. And, and also we've discussed that they're doing the Dark Shadow series, which we're still looking into if that's still going to be done. And, it just amazed me how all these writers want to put political direction in TV series, which there's no room for that. You want to gender swap. You want to say, well, we don't have enough gay people in the series. We don't have enough. People don't, and I'm going to put this in this straight. People don't care how many gay people are in a TV series or how many minorities are in a TV series on that. They want to see a good story, plain and simple. And I'll say it again, like I said in every other video, The Expanse is one of the best TV series out there. Why? Because it works. The script works. The actors work. And there's a good diverse cast. There's a very diverse cast. But that's should not drive what's in your TV show or movie. What should drive it is how good the story is. And Kung Fu was one of the best stories that you could watch on television back then. Because you didn't know what was going to happen. What was he going to do? Kwai-Jean Kane character always defended himself. He didn't look for the fight. The fight came looking for him always. And he tried to help. He's, I am Kane. I will help you. He didn't mind helping you. He didn't look for the buck. He didn't look for, to prove himself. He didn't have to prove himself. One other thing is that they had a lot of times they would do a flashback. When he was in his situation, he would get a flashback of philosophy from his master / grandfather. You would see him back in the monastery, and you would talk about things on there, and they call him Young Grasshopper, and that's what he was called then. And he would get his philosophy, and they would flash back forward to present, and he would use that philosophy to try to resolve the situation. And that's what they do week to week, and it worked. It was a great series. And the thing about it is, they're focusing her in one city. Kwai-Jean Kane moved around all over the place. It's like the joke in Pulp Fiction. Sam Jackson says, "Maybe I'll do like Kung Fu. I'll walk the earth." And that's what he did. He didn't stay in one place. He walked. He kept walking. Looking for new things to learn and to bring his philosophy out and everything like that. And it worked. Now they want to do this version of it, which sounds like it's going to be terrible. And again, I could be wrong. I may be wrong. I've been wrong in the past on certain things. But I think I'm going to be right on this one. Well, let's see what happens. And I'll tell you, go see Kung Fu. The original series. Not the secondary series. The original series. And, you'll see what the difference is from that synopsis. And I can't believe they're using a Batman synopsis for this series. I mean, they're using a Batman blueprint. Have they not realized that, or did they do that purposely? I say, go out. If you want a Kung Fu type series, don't call it Kung Fu. If you want to do it this way, don't call it Kung Fu. Call it something else. It may work out better for you. Take out the Kung Fu. Take out any elements that basically deals with the Kung Fu. You know, tell her she's gone looking, you know, for the meaning of life or something like that. And she's come back and she's a lot wiser then. You know, maybe that's the way you should put it. But she still has an anger behind her, you know. So comment below. Tell me how you feel about it. Let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to hit that like, hit that subscribe. Thank you very much for being there. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome aboard the new subscriber. I know we've gotten a couple more new subscribers. Thank you very much for subscribing. We'll be back again. We'll see you on the rebound. As my late friend Richard would say, keep hopping happy. Thank you. Thank you very much. And we'll see you next time.